Mia Carter rushed down the small, dusty street that led to the local park, her backpack bouncing against her shoulder. She was late again, but only by a few minutes. It did not matter much to 5-year-old Lily, the little girl she was babysitting that day. Lily was sitting at the edge of the sandbox, her tiny hands digging in the cool sand, her curls shining in the soft afternoon light. When Mia arrived, Lily looked up with a bright smile that made Mia's tiredness disappear. Mia was in her second year of college. She lived in a small apartment with her roommate and worked as a babysitter to help pay for food, books, and rent. The days were long, but she tried to keep her heart light. She liked spending time with children. They made her forget the noisy rush of city life and all the worries about grades and bills. "Sorry I'm late," Mia said as she sat beside Lily. "Did you miss me?" Lily nodded and handed her a small plastic bucket. "We are making a big castle today," she said in her small voice. "A castle with a bridge and a tower." Mia smiled and began shaping the wet sand with her fingers. "Then we better make it strong so the bridge doesn't fall." The park was quiet, only a few families scattered around. Some children were chasing pigeons, and an old man walked slowly around the path, feeding them crumbs of bread. The air smelled faintly of rain, but the sky was still bright. It was not fancy, but had big trees that gave good shade, and a small pond where ducks often swam. Lily's laughter filled the air as Mia helped her shape the castle walls. Every few minutes Lily clapped in excitement. She had dark brown eyes, shy but full of wonder. She had lost her mother a year before, though Mia knew only a little about it. The little girl's father rarely talked about their family. When a breeze picked up, the sandcastle leaned to one side and collapsed. Lily's face crumpled. "It broke," she whispered, her small hands still touching the ruined shape. Mia wiped her hands on her jeans and smiled softly. "That's all right, we can build it again. Maybe the next one will be even better." Lily sniffled but nodded. Together they started again, pressing the sand more firmly. For a few minutes, everything felt peaceful. Then a deep rumble came from far away. It sounded like an old truck at first, but soon the wind grew colder and the leaves began to move restlessly. Mia looked up at the sky. Dark gray clouds were forming in the distance. "Looks like a storm is coming. We should pack soon," she said. But before they could finish, a loud clap of thunder rolled across the park. Lily screamed and covered her ears. Her small body shook. Tears rolled down her cheeks as the thunder came again, this one louder. Mia dropped the toys, knelt beside her, and wrapped her arms around her. "Hey, it's all right," Mia said softly. "It's just thunder, it can't hurt you." Lily sobbed and clung tighter. "Make it stop," she cried. Mia held her closer, feeling the little heartbeat racing against her chest. She started humming a song that her mother once used to hum when she was scared as a child. Her voice was low and calm. She rubbed Lily's back, whispering, "You're safe. I'm here. But wait until it's quiet again." The rain began falling, turning the ground dark and shiny. People hurried to their cars and buses. Mia took off her old jacket and covered Lily's head. They ran to the small shelter near the swings, their shoes splashing in the puddles. Under the shelter roof, Lily leaned into Mia's arms, still trembling but breathing more evenly. Her tears slowed. Mia smiled down at her, brushing wet hair away from her face. "You're the bravest little girl," she told her. "See, the rain is only singing on the roof." Lily looked up at her and gave a tiny nod. Her lips curved into a faint smile. "Can we watch the rain a little?" she asked in a soft voice. "Of course," Mia said. "We can watch until it stops." The two of them sat there quietly. The park looked silver in the heavy rain. Swings moved back and forth with the wind, creaking softly. Mia felt a strange peace watching it with Lily. She forgot how tired she was, forgot her unfinished homework, and the long bus ride home waiting later. At that moment it was only the sound of rain and the warmth of a small hand resting in hers. She did not see the man standing under a large black umbrella on the other side of the park. He had arrived in time to see her run to Lily and hold her through the thunder. His eyes stayed fixed on them, an unreadable mixture of surprise and something softer. When Lily stopped crying and giggled at a splash of water, he exhaled slowly, as if a weight had lifted. But he did not walk closer. He stood in silence, watching the woman who had somehow made his little girl brave again. As the rain eased and the clouds began to break apart, a thin orange light spread across the sky. Mia helped Lily put away her toys. Neither of them noticed the quiet stranger turning away and disappearing down the path, the rain dripping from his umbrella like melted silver. The day had changed something invisible, though Mia had no way to know it yet. The next afternoon, the air was clear and warm after the heavy rain. Mia came to the same park with the same small backpack and Lily by her side. The ground was still soft, and the smell of wet earth filled the air. Birds were returning to the trees, calling to each other like nothing had happened the day before. Lily was happier again, skipping little steps beside Mia as they walked toward the swings. Lily's laughter cut through the air, bright and full of life. It was hard to believe the same little girl had cried so hard only yesterday. Mia smiled every time the girl looked back at her with shining eyes. When Lily climbed onto the swing, Mia gave her a gentle push. Lily's laughter rang louder, a sound that seemed to make everything at the park softer and kinder. A few minutes later, Mia noticed a man walking along the path that circled the park. She did not pay much attention at first. Many people came and went each day. But when he stopped not far from the swings and smiled at Lily, Mia looked up properly. It was the same man who had stood at a distance yesterday. She had seen him out of the corner of her eye before the rain had ended. Now he was walking toward them. "Good afternoon," he said, stopping near the swing. His voice was calm but carried a trace of something formal, the kind of tone used by someone who gave orders often. Mia gave him a polite smile. "Hello." Lily jumped off her swing and ran to him. "Daddy," she called, her arms wide. He bent down, lifting her easily into his arms. The movement was natural, practiced yet gentle. So he was Lily's father. Mia blinked, a little embarrassed she had not guessed it before. "I wanted to thank you," he said, turning toward her. "Yesterday, you helped Lily when she was scared. I should have been there sooner, but I was caught in traffic. I came when I could." Lily hugged his neck, resting her head on his shoulder, already content again. Mia shook her head. Anyone would have done the same. She was frightened. "I just tried to calm her until the rain slowed. She's a sweet child." He nodded. There was something measured about his movements, as if he watched every word he said before letting it out. His dark hair was neat, his clothes simple, but somehow expensive in the way they fit perfectly without trying. He looked like he belonged to a world of offices, sharp meetings, and important people. "Still," he said, "I wanted to thank you properly. You were kind when she needed it most." Mia shrugged with a small smile. "It's nothing, really. Kindness doesn't cost anything." He looked at her for a moment, as if those words had stayed longer in his mind than she expected. There was a short silence, then Lily tugged at his sleeve, pointing back to the swings. "Daddy, push me," Lily said. He looked unsure for a second, then put her down and walked with her to the swing. Mia stood aside, her hands in her pockets. She noticed the way he watched Lily, cautious but warm. He gave her a gentle push, and Lily laughed again, calling higher. Ethan Collins was not used to parks. Most of his days were spent in buildings made of glass and steel where people moved fast and spoke with ambition more than heart. It had been months since he had brought Lily out anywhere that was not part of a schedule. Yet today, it felt strange and peaceful to be here, smelling the damp grass and hearing his daughter's laughter echo in the open air. He turned to Mia. "Do you come here often with her?" "Yes." "Almost every afternoon after school," she said. "She likes feeding the ducks and playing in the sand. It's quiet here, not crowded like other parks." "She seems comfortable with you," he said. "It means a lot." Mia smiled again, brushing hair from her face. "She just needs someone to listen. Most children do." He nodded slowly. Her words were simple, but true. For a long moment, they both watched Lily swing back and forth. The child's laughter carried across the park like a small melody. When it was time to go, Ethan looked at his watch and said softly, "We should get going. Thank you again for yesterday, Mia." She was surprised he remembered her name. He had seen it on the babysitter's note she had left that morning, but hearing him use it made something flutter softly in her chest. "You're welcome," she said politely. "Take care on your way home. Looks like more rain might come later." He tilted his head toward the cloudy sky. He smiled slightly for the first time, then reached out his free hand as a gesture of goodbye. She shook it lightly. His hand was warm, firm but careful. After he left, Mia sat on the bench for a while, watching the swing still move gently in the wind. She thought of the tired look in his eyes when he had spoken, the kind that came from worry more than age. She wondered what kind of life he lived beyond the polished shoes and the quiet strength in his voice. When she stood to leave, she noticed something shiny near the bench. It was a child's small bracelet shaped like a tiny silver star. It must have belonged to Lily. Mia picked it up and smiled to herself. She would return it next time. Somehow she already knew there would be a next time. A week passed before Mia saw Ethan and Lily again. The days had grown brighter, and the park was full of people enjoying the sunshine. Mia arrived early that day with her sketchbook in her hand. She planned to finish a drawing for her art class while Lily played with other children. She set her bag down on the grass near a tree and began to draw the fountain at the center of the park. Her pencil moved softly across the page while the sound of laughter and running feet filled the air. Lily came running toward her after a few minutes, her cheeks pink and eyes bright. "Mia, guess what? Daddy came too," she said proudly, pointing behind her. Mia looked up, and there he was. Ethan walked toward them, still with that calm and careful manner that seemed part of who he was. He wore simple clothes again, but something about the way he carried himself still felt different, like he moved through life with invisible walls around him. He waved lightly at her. "Good afternoon, Mia." Mia smiled. "Hello, Mr. Collins. I didn't expect to see you here today." He looked around as if searching for the right words. "Lily enjoys this park a great deal. She talks about it at home all the time. I thought I should see what makes it so special." Lily giggled and took his hand. "It's special because Mia comes here," she said in her honest little voice. Ethan looked a little surprised. "Is that so?" he said, smiling faintly. Mia laughed at Lily's truthfulness and waved her hand. She's just being kind as always. They found a quiet spot near the pond and sat together. Lily began feeding the ducks pieces of bread, her smile wide and happy. For a long time, the two adults simply watched her in silence. The water glimmered under the afternoon sun, and the ducks swam close to the edge, quacking softly. Ethan broke the silence. "You draw?" he said, nodding toward her sketchbook that lay open beside her. "Yes," Mia replied. "It's part of my college course. I study art and child development. I want to work with children one day, maybe teach them how to express feelings through drawing." "That sounds meaningful," he said. His eyes followed her pencil resting on the edge of the page. "You must like what you do," she nodded. "I do. It helps me slow down and see the world clearly. When I draw, I stop worrying about other things. It makes me feel calm." Ethan listened carefully. He realized he had not done anything calm in years. His life ran on meetings, calls, and deadlines. The peace in her words made him wonder what it was like to breathe without pressure. Lily ran up to them, holding a small leaf in her hand. "Look, Daddy, it looks like a heart." Ethan smiled and nodded. "You have good eyes, sweetheart." Mia reached for her sketchbook again and began to draw the little leaf quickly. When she showed the drawing to Lily, the girl gasped in surprise. "It looks real," she said with delight. "You can keep it," Mia said, tearing the page gently and handing it to her. Lily held it as if it were something precious. "Thank you, Mia," she said, and ran off again to play near other children. Ethan watched this small thing with quiet interest. "You have a way with her," he said. "She usually takes a while to trust people." Mia smiled softly. "I think she just needs to feel that someone understands her. She misses her mother, even if she doesn't say it." He looked down, his expression heavy for a moment. "Yes, she does. It's been hard for both of us." "I know," Mia said in a gentle voice. "No, you're doing your best. That's what matters." He looked at her like he wanted to thank her, but could not find the right words. She turned her gaze to the pond again, giving him space. The wind moved the surface of the water lightly, and sunlight danced in small golden lines across it. After some time, Ethan said, "Would it be possible for you to continue spending time with Lily? She feels safe with you. I think it helps her more than any counselor I've found." Mia looked up, her eyes calm but surprised. "Of course," she said. "She's a wonderful child. I'll help her however I can." "Thank you," he said quietly. "You don't know how much that means." For the rest of the afternoon, they sat together while Lily played. Mia's drawings filled the pages with scenes of children laughing, birds in flight, and sunlight across the park bench. Ethan found himself watching her more than he expected. There was a quiet determination in the way she worked, and her laughter seemed to reach even the corners of his heart that had been shut for so long. When it was time to leave, Lily insisted on holding both of their hands as they walked toward Ethan's car. The sky was beginning to turn pink behind the tall trees. Mia felt the warmth of Lily's small hand in one of hers, and Ethan a steady but gentle grip in the other. For a strange second, they looked like a family without meaning to be one. At the car, Lily leaned up and whispered to Mia, "Come again tomorrow, please." Mia promised she would. Ethan said goodnight, his voice softer than usual. She watched them drive away, unaware that their many worlds had just begun to draw closer. Pulled by quiet feelings none of them had planned for. Mia stood at the tall iron gate, her breath caught in her throat. She had never seen a house so large. The long driveway curved between beds of flowers and trimmed trees that looked too perfect to be real. She had come here only because Ethan had asked her to look after Lily at their home for the first time. He had said his car had broken down and that his assistant would send her the address. She had not expected this. The front door opened before she could ring the bell. A man in a neat black suit greeted her politely and led her down a wide hallway with framed paintings on the walls. Everything inside shined, from the floor that reflected the chandelier's glow to the glass vases that lined the space. Mia felt small walking through it, her old jeans and faded bag seeming out of place among the fine decorations. When they reached the living room, she found Lily sitting on a soft carpet surrounded by toys. The little girl's face brightened when she saw her. "Mia," she cried, running over. Mia laughed and lifted her up, spinning her once in the air. "Hey there," Mia said. "I almost got lost finding your house," Lily giggled. "Daddy forgot to tell you it is big," she said proudly. Mia looked around, still trying to take it all in. Big is one word for it. A moment later, Ethan entered the room. He was wearing a dark suit, his expression calm but different, older somehow. The smile he gave her was polite, but his eyes seemed careful, as if he expected a question that he would struggle to answer. "Mia," he said slowly, "I should have explained earlier." She placed Lily gently down and faced him. "You're the CEO," she said, the words feeling strange even as she spoke them. "Duh. The company name on the folder Lily brought last week, it was yours." Ethan looked down for a second, then nodded. "Yes," he said quietly. "I should have told you sooner." She could not hide the hurt in her eyes. "You'd let me believe you were just an ordinary office worker. All this time you knew I come from nothing, and you said nothing." Ethan took a small step toward her. "It was not meant to deceive," he said steadily. "I liked that you spoke to me the same way you did the day we met. You did not care who I was. You cared about Lily. I wanted that to last for a while." Mia crossed her arms, her voice trembling even though she tried to keep it even. "That is not fair. You made me look foolish. I trusted what I saw." Lily looked between them, confused by the sudden tension. She tugged on Mia's sleeve. "Are you angry?" she whispered. Mia softened at once, kneeling to meet her eyes. "No, sweet girl," she said gently. "I am not angry with you." Ethan's face showed regret. He walked closer, his voice quiet. "Please do not leave like this. I only wanted to keep things simple. Everything in my life is built on money, reputation, and people pretending. With you, there was peace." Mia wanted to believe him. She truly did. But the ache in her chest would not fade. "I need time," she said finally. "I cannot pretend there is no difference between your world and mine." She took her bag and moved toward the door. Lily's eyes began to fill with tears. "Will you come back?" she asked. Mia smiled sadly. "Of course I will, but not today." Ethan stood still, watching her walk away. The echo of the closing door sounded louder than it should have. That night, Mia sat at her small desk in her apartment, staring at the sketchbook that held her drawings of Lily at the park. Each page showed laughter and sunlight and trust. She touched the edge of one page and felt tears rise. She told herself she would not cry over someone whose life was already full without her. But she did cry, because the child and the man had become part of her days without her noticing. Across town, Ethan sat alone in his study. His laptop was open, but untouched. The house that had always felt full now seemed to silent. He remembered the way Mia had looked at him earlier, not with anger alone, but sadness, struck harder than any business loss ever could. For days they did not see each other. Mia turned down calls from his office. She focused on her classes and part-time work, yet found herself thinking about Lily's laughter again and again. At night she dreamed of the park, the sound of rain, and the feeling of small hands holding hers. Ethan, meanwhile, kept Lily close, reading to her at night and taking her to the park again, hoping she might smile the same way she did when Mia was with them. But Lily waited by the gate each afternoon, asking if Mia would come. He could not bear to tell her the truth that he did not know if Mia would ever walk back into their lives. Both hearts carried a quiet emptiness that neither money nor pride could fill. Time passed slowly, each day stretching longer than the last, till the silence began to feel heavier than all their unspoken words. The morning sun touched the park with a gentle light. The air smelled of new flowers, and the sound of children's voices floated across the small lake. Mia walked slowly along the path, holding a wrapped gift in her hands. It was Lily's birthday, and after many days of staying away, she had finally gathered courage to come. Her heart beat fast as if it did not know whether to run or to stay. She had thought about this day for a long time, wondering if she should appear at all. Yet she knew she could not break her promise to Lily. The park looked the same as before, but something inside Mia had changed. She was stronger now, but the memory of Ethan's face when she left his house still lingered. She had told herself it was better to keep distance, that their lives belonged to different worlds. Still, her heart had disobeyed reason and carried a quiet hope that refused to die. Near the fountain, bright balloons moved with the wind. A small table was covered with colorful plates and boxes wrapped neatly with ribbons. Lily stood there in a light blue dress, her hair tied with a ribbon of the same color. When she saw Mia, her eyes lit up brighter than the sun. She ran with open arms, shouting her name with pure joy. "Mia, you came," she said, her voice full of excitement. Mia knelt to hug her, holding her close. "Of course I came," she said with a smile. "Happy birthday, my brave little princess." Lily giggled and held out her hands for the gift. Mia handed it to her. Inside was a small picture frame with a drawing of the park, the ducks on the pond, and the two of them feeding them together. Lily's eyes widened as she looked at it. "It's us," she said in a whisper, as if it was magic. "I love it." Ethan stood nearby, quietly watching. He had not expected Mia to come. For weeks he had prepared himself to face another day without her. Now that she was there, a strange mixture of relief and worry filled him. He walked closer, his steps slow and uncertain. "Mia," he said softly, "thank you for coming." She looked up. The sight of him stirred all the feelings she had tried to bury. He was wearing a plain shirt, not the polished suits she had seen before. There was tiredness in his face, but also warmth. "I wasn't sure if I should," she said. Her voice was calm but steady. "I'm glad you did," he said. "Lily has missed you every day." Mia glanced at the little girl who was now showing her gift to a group of children. She smiled softly. "I missed her too." They stood in silence for a short moment before Ethan spoke again. "I owe you an apology," he said, "when we met. I hid who I was because I wanted you to see me without all the titles and numbers. But hiding the truth was wrong. You deserved honesty. That night at the house, I wanted to explain. But you left before I found the right words." Mia looked down at her shoes, her heart tightening. "I understand why you did it," she said. "But it hurt to be reminded how different we are." Ethan shook his head. "The only difference I see is courage. You face the world every day with hope. I build walls to feel safe. You help me see that love and comfort are not built with money." The words caught her by surprise. He was not speaking like a man used to winning. His voice carried sincerity, and his eyes did not hide from hers. Mia could feel the truth in his tone. Before she could answer, Lily ran back and took both their hands. "You both have to come for cake now," she said with a wide smile. "It's chocolate." Mia and Ethan followed her to the table. Children sang while Lily blew the candles. Her laughter filled the air, and for the first time in many days, Mia felt light again. After the party ended, Lily went to play with the other children near the swings. Ethan turned to Mia. "She is happy because of you," he said quietly. "You brought back color to her world. I mean this sincerely. If you are willing to give me a chance, I want to build something real this time, without lies and without walls. I want you to be part of both our lives, not as a sitter, but as someone we care for." The wind lifted a strand of hair across her face. She searched his eyes and saw no pride there, only an honest plea. For a moment she said nothing. Then she reached into her bag and took out the small bracelet shaped like a silver star that Lily had once lost. She held it out. "I kept this," she said. "It reminded me of her and of you. Maybe I was always meant to bring it back." He took the bracelet gently, his fingers brushing hers. A small smile formed on his face. "Then bring yourself back too," he said. "Lily and I both need you." Mia felt the warmth in her chest spread. The ache that had held her back began to fade. She looked at Lily, who was waving at them from the swings, her laughter echoing across the park. "I think she has already decided that for us," Mia said, her voice soft but sure. Ethan moved closer, his smile calm and true. The sun dipped low, lighting the sky with gold. For the first time, all three of them stood not as strangers from different worlds, but as a small family forming its own light against the fading day. The park, once marked by fear and rain, now held the sound of laughter and the promise of a beginning that felt honest and whole. The story that had started with kindness in a storm ended not in wealth or status, but with open hearts finding home in each other.